Have you guys watched Bridgerton season 2? I mean, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but it was so good. I really like that show. I don't know. I think it's the love in the show. It's the diversity in the show. It's the little drama. It's the costuming. It's a lot of things about that show that I just really like. But like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. So that leads me into our video today of our Belle of the Ball palette and our blush palette by Mama Pat herself. And I feel like my look is super gorgeous, feeling very Belle of the Ball, but I do have a lot of thoughts. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So once again, we are talking about one of my favorite brands, Miss Mama Pat, okay? Yes, love some Mama Pat, even though sometimes I'm just like, I don't know, okay? And that's how I feel a little bit today in this video. But before I get started, let me go ahead and introduce myself. If you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you're older but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup. And eyeshadow is my jam. It is one of my favorite things. And I love Pat McGrath. Like I just mentioned before, I love Pat McGrath, okay? But sometimes I'm just like, I don't know, but not to say that this video is negative, but like I just have some thoughts. But please just call me Ash or Ashley after I had to say all of that. So Bridgerton season 2 released on Netflix, and along with the release on Netflix of the show, Pat McGrath started hinting at her new collection, and she started doing the little bumblebees, and she had the newspaper, and immediately I just started thinking, Lady Whistledown. Okay, yes, and I was correct. I was like, I knew it. It's Bridgerton 2. It's Lady Whistledown. And I still get very excited guessing the collections of Pat McGrath, even when I don't always care for everything, but because I just love Pat McGrath so much. It's just so much excitement. It's like, what is it going to be? What is the color story going to look like? You know, I see sequins, and it's just like an experience, okay? So that's how I feel. And I just really love how she have, I think, Nicola Laughlin. I'm pronouncing her name wrong. But so Nicola Coughlin. So I love how she had her as her muse. And I just think that was just so much fun when she put the paper down like boom. And I was like, yes, I knew it. It's Whistledown. So we have the palette here, and we have a pretty gorgeous 6-pan palette called Belle of the Ball. So once again, we have another 6-pan palette to go along with the Bridgerton collab. And once again, there is no lacquer in the palette. And I don't know, I think I'm making my peace about that, but I have some thoughts at the end of the video. What might be going, it's just my speculation. I don't know anything. But what my speculation is to why we just don't have lacquer in this particular palette as well. So because there's no lacquer, it is a little bit notably lighter in feel versus the other 6-pan palettes, but it does feel weighted in quality. On the back, we also have the shade names. It says it's in collaboration with Netflix, Shondaland, and you know Shonda Rhimes is the producer of the show Bridgerton, and it's used with permission, okay? Because of course we got to have the licensing rights. And like I said, it's 6 eyeshadows with a total net weight of 6.6 grams or 0.23 ounces. It is distributed by Pat McGrath Labs, LLC, New York, New York. And it is made in Italy. And you know her brand is also out of London. And the shadow quality does feel really nice. And it is good for 18 months once you open the palette. Once again, we have her holographics down on the bottom. Hieroglyphics. That's what I meant to say. We have our hieroglyphics down at the bottom that we're used to. And we have the beautiful imagery. And then once again, Pat McGrath with the Belle of the Ball and the Lady Whistledown. So I feel like the packaging really represents the show very well. This one is definitely more colorful versus the other one where we had the blue kind of for Daphne in this particular season, where the story carries on with her brother and kind of focuses on Lady Whistledown. And we know that Penelope wears a lot of color. And Like I said, we open it and we notably we do have 2 astral shades in this particular palette, okay? And then we do have 2 of the satin shimmers and 2 of the satin mattes. And this one kind of has like that glaze texture to it, and this one is very creamy once you touch it. In addition, this palette does retail for $65, so that is the standard price of usually her 6-pan palettes. In addition, I also picked up, this is the Blushing Delights blush palette. Now, this is where it takes me out, okay? Because I just didn't expect it to be this big. I just didn't. It's like as big as me, big as my face. It's very thick. I don't need to keep saying it, okay? And these are the 3 blush shades, and the blush shades are new, so that's what intrigued me. And the highlighter is new, and it's a baked formula. Now, overall, I think that the colors of the blushes are very, very pretty, and that's what attracted me to this. This blush palette did cost $65, and the shades are made in Italy. Once you open it, it's good for 12 months. Of course, if you keep your makeup in a cool and dry area, these powder products will last you a lifetime, basically. Like real talk, okay? A lifetime. So the blush and highlight palette is 7.5 grams or 0.26 ounces. And then the ingredients of all the shades are listed here on the back. Once again, we have the licensing with Netflix, okay? So I did actually pick these up in a bundle at the time of launch. So I got both for $100, I want to say. So I saved a little money plus the 10% off that she offers. And the shipping was pretty fast on this. So I do have 2 looks for you. We'll talk about the performance of the shades in between the looks, and then we'll wrap up with some final thoughts at the end. So let's get started. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I got my eyebrows filled in using my Goof Proof pencil, shade 3.75, of course. Then I have on my eyeshadow primer that I love so much. I'm looking for it. There it is. It is the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Caffeine, okay? Let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, I am back and here's the first look. So if you noticed, I kind of went ahead and switched it up with this one because I wanted to see the potential of this shade. You know, Pat McGrath layers a lot. Also, I had a subscriber talk to me about like the layering technique and just getting the most out of our shade. So I just really wanted to see how that shade was amplified by layering down the Permagel pencil. And that was in the shade Blitz Blue. And this is by Pat McGrath as well. So these shades perform really nicely. I think the color tones are beautiful. I like this palette a lot better than the first one. And this shade was actually really easy to apply. Now you did see me go in with, let's see, where is it? The Intensifies Wand by Pat McGrath. So I'm still trying it out. And when I did my video of Subversive 3, I did another 3 looks using Subversive. I used a pen and I did not have a good experience at all that day, but I was like, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm just going to use it. I hadn't used it in a while, so maybe it was just kind of, you know, a little funky, but I used it again another time and I used it again today and it does work well. So I'm not totally writing it off, but I still don't think like this is a product really that I will purchase again, to be honest. Now the shadows perform really nicely. I mean, definitely you get a boost when adding on that navy blue, or it's not really a navy blue. It's more of like it's navy blue, kind of royal blue-ish liner. You do get a boost with the color, and these two shades are very nice. They kind of give me that decadence vibe shimmer when you're talking about the two shimmers that I use here, which is the blue shimmer, and that is Daring Dandy, and then also the shade where you have, I wouldn't say it's Refinement. So these two shades right here, very smooth, very creamy, very easy to apply. Don't need to wet it. I don't even think you need to lay down the mix and medium. Actually, I used it before and I was okay without it because I have used this palette once I first got it. Because I just wanted to dip in. But for my face details, everything is basically Pat McGrath. I decided to just go with my regular lashes for this particular look. I did use the Dark Star mascara. Here she is. This is the Dark Star mascara. And at this point, I just buy minis of mascaras because I have bad allergies. And those are like one products that are like, I do kind of want to declutter sooner than later. Plus, I usually have 1 or 2 mascaras going at the same time. And you know, they dry out kind of quickly. And mascara could just be expensive for no reason. I mean, honestly. So I'd rather pay $13 versus $24. Anywho, so that's my little spill on that. We're in the Pat McGrath foundation. She is back in my collection thanks to the glitch sale. And I just heard that she didn't honor that for everybody. That sucks. Like, if you honor it for one or a lot of people, just honor it for everybody. Clearly that code was not made for us. I mean, it was really for her team and somehow they messed up on that. But, you know, you got to roll with it at that point. And my bronzer is my Gucci bronzer in the Tan 04 shade. You know, we rock with her. You see she got good old pan there. And lipstick. Lipstick, I use my Juvia's Place lip liner right here. And this is the shade Cola. Very similar to using Chestnut by MAC. And where's my lipstick? I put on Omi. Okay, so I got a little mini of Omi. And it's just a nice kind of nudie, brownie pink shape. So I was debating if I wanted to put on some gloss over it. I think I'm just going to let her ride. So I didn't put on any blush and highlight because I have this. Now, I have a lot of thoughts about this, okay? I was so mad. When I saw this in my box, I was just so mad. I mean, it's huge. So they had it down on the bottom and the palette was on top inside of another like bubble wrap sleeve. But do you see how big this is? Like, in relation to my head. If I was to put this in, it's huge. And then look how thick it is. And the packaging, the design is beautiful. It goes with the collection, but the packaging is so wasteful because literally when I pull it up, what makes me even more upset is that when I pull it up, the blushes are sitting right here on top. So it's not even like it's something that the blushes are into, like, you know, is being protected by the packaging. This is just a waste of space. Look how far apart. I think we kind of knew that. And I knew going in that I didn't really care for the packaging, but I thought it was just going to be more condensed. Like, I thought it was going to be smaller. Like, so we're going to take this for example. This is my Juvia's Place Warrior Highlighter. Heroin Glow. I think this is shade 2 because everything has rubbed off of it. But you see how the highlighter is like in there, you know? It's not sitting on top. And it's a lot smaller. Now, did I expect it to be this small? Absolutely not, because it's 4 products in there. But did I expect it to be almost as big as my head? Absolutely not. And then, look, you can literally see the white where the product is just sitting on top. It's like no protection, especially around the heart shade. Like, look at just Pat. We just have to do better. This is just not good. The pack is not good. The product, though, is very good. I do like the blushes. I'm not gonna front. I like the blushes, and that's why I bought the colors, because I don't know who I am lately, but I've been into blush. Purchased a lot of blushes, you know, but I generally like the colors. I really like this color. I like that it's a baked gelée. It feels really nice. I like the highlight. It has, you know, more glitter particles in there, but it's nice. I like it. I've been wearing it. I haven't worn these 2 colors yet, but if I could just figure out a way to depot this mess. And the thing about it is, I don't even think, is it glued on to there? It's got to be. Like, I'm so confused. I don't like it at all. And it's $65. So, you know, it's just kind of like that age-old rule. Like, you know, Pat will do her packaging really well, and then sometimes the packaging is just bad, you know? We did not need all this. I really wish it was in the format that the blush and face palette was in for the first collection, where it was just flat. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I would have liked to take this with me traveling like I could do with the other one. I don't have the other blush palette because I have those shades, except for the highlighter. The highlighter was new. But I'm not going to be funny. I have been using the blush. I do. So I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of the darker shade and mix it with this shade. And what I found that it's been very pigmented. Like, you don't need to pick up a whole lot, because I picked up a whole lot the first day and I'm like, what? Maybe that's not what I should have done. And this brush I'm using to apply my blush is just a Christian Siriano brush. Like, literally it's about to fall apart, but it just applies blush so well. I mean, just to be honest, I mean, it was a gift from my technicians at work, and it was really thoughtful of them because they know I like makeup, so, you know. But I like the colors. I'm not gonna front. I like the colors. I just think that the packaging is poor. I think, is it getting caught right there? I just think that the packaging is poor. It's just poor for the money. So in my mind, I think I'm just saying, like, I just paid for the makeup. Like, I think that's how I can rationalize it. Just like, because I mean, parts of me, I saw it, I was just like, I might want to return this. Like, I was just really not happy with it, you know? But I think the color is beautiful. You see that, right? The color is gorgeous. And I think it's something in here for everybody, you know? But that really did upset me. Now I'm going to jump in with the highlights, okay? With the highlighter. And I don't know about this heart shape. It seems a little gimmicky, and I just don't feel like Pat needs gimmicky. You know what I mean? Or just, I don't know. It's just sitting all on top, and I'm just like, well, how long do I have before this breaks? You know, like before it's just a crumbly hot mess. Like, this could be a storage box. Like, I promise you, if I could figure out how to depot this, I would just use it as like a little storage box. But this whole, my blush is just sitting on top. I don't know. I like it. I like my face. It's not my favorite highlight. My favorite highlight by her is, what is it? The Golden Nectar one that came out with the blushes, the Divine Rose blush. That's my favorite highlight by her. But I like it. So that is the look that we have here. I think it's pretty. Definitely a little versatility. You could go deeper, or you could just play it the same. Now we're going to jump in with one more look, okay? I'll be right back. I am back, and this is the second look, which is, it's really pretty. I'm not going to deny that. It's really pretty. The shadows perform really well. And I just went ahead and sprayed it with a little bit of Mehron Mixing Medium, which is, you know, if you ever look on Pat McGrath's Instagram, she always talks about this. I got the Mehron off of Amazon. I will try to link it down below in the bottle. It was $12 for a bottle, but then I put it in this spray bottle for easier use because it literally just comes in a bottle where you have to untwist the cap, and then you have all this mixing medium that is like free reign for you, and that could be disastrous. So let's jump into the shadows. The look is gorgeous. I mean, but let's be honest. If you're a Pat McGrath fan, if you have majority of her palettes, it's only a couple things I do not have from her. I do not have Metamorphosis, but those shades have been repeated quite often. I don't have ink. What else? It's a quad or so. It's like 2 quads. Oh, I don't have that Bronze Borealis quad, and I don't have the Flora Fantasia quad, and is that it? I feel like it's another quad from, oh, that quad with Lavendarian in it that came from the Christmas collection. That was the 2020 collection. Yes. Okay, so it's like 4 things that I don't have. So everything else I have. I've been standing Pat McGrath for a long time, okay? But let's keep it all the way 100, okay? The makeup in here is fabulous. The eyeshadows are great. So if you do not want to get your hands on maybe Mothership Subversive, which is Mothership 3, because those are $125, they're still pricey, even with, you know, a coupon code, or, you know, maybe you can find it on a wonderful sale. But if you want to just try her brand and you like this palette, the palette is very nice. It's very nice. The makeup quality is solid. I think the only shade that we don't have that in her collection would be this shade right here, which is the Daring Dandy, okay? It's like the nice light blue kind of aqua shade. The only shade that we have somewhat close would be the shade in Nocturnal Nirvana, and I feel like if I don't pull it out, you're gonna be like, what the heck? So let me grab it. Okay, so the closest shade would be this shade, and as you can see, there is just no comparison between those two shades. This is Nocturnal Nirvana that came out with the Christmas 2018, I want to say. I'm gonna start writing the dates on some of these on the back, but I'm pretty sure Christmas 2018 is how we got this. Yes. The matte shades, I feel like they come a dime a dozen when we talking about Pat McGrath's, you know, lineup. This one is definitely really beautiful. Forbidden No More, that's the one I used in here. It can give you a lot of depth. I don't think it's like the most smokiest of shades that we've seen from her. I definitely prefer it over Plum Regalia. This is the first Bridgerton collab. As you can see, we have two other shades right here that are very similar to here. Oh Lord, last time y'all know I was holding up Pat McGrath palettes, okay? But these palettes are smaller, so I have a better hold on it. Maybe I'll insert that clip. I don't know. When I was comparing some palettes, Divine Rose 2 almost flew out of my hand. So I feel like you have this shade, you know, so many times over. That's the first one. But the two star of the shows would definitely be Diamond's Desire and Forever Charmed. These two shades right here, they're very beautiful, very opulent. You're going to get a beautiful gradient. I love this shade. But it's very close to, let's see, I pulled out Mothership 3. We have Gigabyte right here. So this is Gigabyte, you know. So let's do a quick little swatch of Gigabyte. We have Gigabyte right here. Now we're gonna go in with Forever Charmed. And I do like the imprints of the bees on the palette. Okay, so like unless your eyeballs can do some type of sorcery, tell me like you're not gonna, those are the same shade, you know what I mean? So this is Forever Diamond and then this is Gigabyte, you know? Nobody's gonna come up to me and be like, that is Forever Diamond, unless they just know they, you know what I mean? But nobody's going to do that, okay? It's like, let's be honest, okay? So Gigabyte might be a hair darker. Oh, I'm like, how is this swatch working? But I mean, honestly, it's looking very much the same, okay? So it's just kind of like, you know, if I knew, I feel like I knew it was green, but it kind of let red more gold in the pictures, but and then I knew it was green. So I mean, it is what it is, okay? So now let's pick up Diamond's Desire. And if you really want some comparisons, I suggest you go over to Kiki Sweat's channel. She's now going by her actual name, Alicia Archer. And she received the collection in PR. And she is a stan, a Pat McGrath stan, okay? I think we all are, but, you know, she has all the comparison breakdowns if you really want to see it, okay? And then pop in with this shade that's very close from Mothership 7, which is this shade Astral Solstice, and this is Divine Rose 1. Okay, let me hold this with care, because baby, I did almost drop this one too. That's why you see those little nicks in the shadow from me grabbing it. My hands are really small, y'all, so okay, you know, with this one, which is you're definitely getting the more peachy vibes from it, peachy golden. That's the one I have on. I mean, it's a very opulent shade that you don't have to do anything with. Diamond's Desire. And then we have the Astral Solstice. So, I mean, in actuality, if you have these palettes, honey, and you know these mattes have come a dime a dozen. Once she gave us the plum mattes, she hasn't turned back from the plum mattes. You know, it used to be a time where it was just browns. And now it's the plums. I mean, you're kind of good to go. I mean, honestly. But if we're just talking about the performance of the makeup is beautiful. So about this collection, I don't know how to feel. I feel like it's beautiful. I feel like it's something kind of here for everybody, especially if you have not been exposed to the brand. I think it's maybe somewhat of a good starting point. I definitely prefer this particular palette. This would be the second palette, the Belle de Ball, versus the first one. I definitely see more looks with this one, more combinations that you can get with this one versus this one. And both of the matte shades are just so, you know, two of the mattes in here are just so similar, and then you have one that doesn't even pull a lot of smoke. This one is, I feel like, it's so much better. I was more excited about this one, but I just feel like certain aspects of the collection are beautiful. I'm still missing the lacquer when it comes to this. I don't care for the packaging. I mean, well, I told you I have small hands, but I'm like, I can't even barely grip it with one hand. It's just really obnoxious. It's a lot going on. I feel like it's a waste of packaging. I feel like it's just not good. And I just wish it was smaller. I don't think I mind that it's round, but I just need it to be smaller. It looks a little cheap. And it looks a lot cheap for adult prices, as people would say, you know, like Claire's makeup, but adult price tag, you know. But the colors inside of this packaging are really beautiful. It's something here for everybody, and the performance is nice. So as far as the makeup inside of everything is really nice, okay? Really quality products. You could tell that it's you know, it's in line with the rest of the line. Now, I don't have the lipsticks, but I did hear Kinky Sweat and my friend Beauty and the Frizz talk about how the packaging was a lot lighter, how it wasn't as heavy. This is a Divinyl from, you know, a couple launches before, but, you know, everybody knows that we pick up a Pat McGrath lipstick case is going to be really heavy. And she said it was really light, and so did Kinky Sweat, or Alicia. And, you know, what's very noticeable in these palettes is that we don't have the lacquer. And I'm still like, bring my lacquer back. But then I started I just started thinking about it, because like it's just happening so much now. And I just wonder, because this was a collab, and you know, we have the astral shades in here, and then the quality is on point. So I just wonder if she's facing some of the same things that everybody else is facing across the world, like inflation. Like, I mean, honestly, inflation is real. Everything is costing more. And I just wonder if she could not deliver her usual $65 price point for these particular palettes when adding in the lacquer packaging. Because, you know, these palettes are noticeably a lot thinner. Just keep pulling out stuff. So, I mean, if you know, like this is one of the original 6 pans, and definitely it's thicker, you know, it's definitely more weighted because there is lacquer, kind of similar to how the mothership palettes are. You know, you have that, take this plastic out, you have the hard lacquer packaging, you know. You do have the mirror, but I just wonder if with the inflation and what's going on in today's economy, if she's just able to deliver that price point, because at some point, you know, a consumer is not going to pay over a certain price point. And maybe she had to sacrifice the lacquer in order to deliver. And if that was the case, then I'm fine. It's same thing maybe with the liquids and the lipsticks, and it sucks because we know when we get like, you know, Pat McGrath lipstick or anything like this one is super heavy, and this is Forever Dream. If you drop these on your toe, it's going to be a little impact, okay? But I just really wonder, like, if that's really just impacting the brand. I'm fine if we have to lose maybe the lacquer, if that's the case, you know? But what I'm not fine is, I'm like, Pat, we got to stop repeating these shades, because Gigabyte and this shade that I have on my eyes, they are exactly the same, Forever Charm. It's a gorgeous shade. I love it so. Am I going to use it? Heck yeah. And I see myself dipping into this palette. I'm like, I haven't dipped into this palette at all since I've used it the first time. But she has to stop repeating these shades. It's getting out of hand. It really is. You know, whether it's a collab or anything else. Like, I feel like this does read closer to the collab. And when you think about season 1, this does, you know, work with Daphne's story, and this definitely works with, you know, the story with Lady Whistledown and the yellow and how Penelope appears. But it's too many repeats. It's just too many. This shade is basically identical to Gigabyte. You know, this shade, you can find it in some of the other palettes. And she knows, at this point, I know she knows. A lot of people are collectors. She reads the comments. She reads everything. We got to stop. I'm really waiting for something like really innovative from her brand. I would still like to have bronzers from her brand. I really appreciated the VR Sextra Galactic kit with the multi-chrome. I did appreciate that, and I was really excited about that because I just need something different to keep me on my toes, to keep me excited about this brand. Because I mean, as much as I love her stuff, I just can't justify keep buying the same thing over and over. And that's it. You know, as much as I love her, it is what it is, honey. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know, did you pick up this collection? I know a lot of people are just on the fence about this collection. Oh, also, if you're wondering about my earrings, I felt like they fit the collection really well in the theme of Bridgerton really well. So they're Betsy Johnson. They're old school. You know, I have a bracelet, but it was just been so distracting in the video to show the bracelet. I'll show the bracelet. Okay. So this is the bracelet that came with it. And this collection is literally probably like, about a hot 2012, 2011. And so I still have it. And I was like, oh, this goes so well. The flowers and the little, it's not a bead, but you know, I was like, oh, it works. So let me put those on. And that's it. So leave me a comment down below. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe to my channel because, you know, I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And with all of that said, you already know how we got to end the video around here. We got to hit it with the Chad. Hey, Chad ass. Hey, 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 Chad ass. Chad. Chad ass. Hey, hey. All right, y'all. Bye.